Hello everyone and welcome back to Nordvik. As you can see, it's snowing quite a lot and it doesn't look like it's about to stop anytime soon. The Christmas market downtown is getting less and less visitors now, as people are spending more time at home cleaning, decorating, baking and cooking, all in all preparing for the holiday season that is soon upon us. Those few men and women that find themselves out in this weather are perhaps doing some late Christmas shopping, or perhaps they're just taking a break from being cooped up with their extended family that came early unannounced this year. As they are walking through the snow here in Nordvik, several people stop and listening to the sounds of this small town, or to be more accurate, the lack of sounds. The white snow absorbs all noise and acts like a blanket, covering Nordvik, keeping everyone safe and sound. This is a magical night. This isn't a normal episode, so I won't do any building in this one. I instead want to take this opportunity to speak from my heart and try to do the impossible, and that is to formulate a few sentences that summarizes this year. But first, I want to thank you for watching. Not just this video, but all my videos this year. I have loved to share content with you, hearing your feedback and even working together with some of you. I hope you join me next year as well. I have a lot of plans and I can't wait to get started. To break the immersion for a small bit, the city that I built in this video will not be a part of Nordvik. You could even call this episode not canon, if you will. I wanted to make the city that is Nordvik for this one with the Christmas market, but I didn't have enough time, so I just built this small city for just this one video. This isn't even built on the Nordvik map. I just downloaded a winter themed map from the workshop to function as the background to this small town. I have actually started working on the main city for this series, the city of Nordvik, and I believe that will be coming in episode 4. And I also plan to publish episode 2 very early on next year, for those who haven't watched it already. If you want to watch it right now, find out how in episode 1 of this series. Now, I would like to read to you this small speech that I just wrote. Look at this as a early New Year's speech from the mayor of Nordvik. So, my fellow citizens, I hope you're doing great. And I hope you understand that it is okay to feel not so great as well. It has been an interesting year for all of us. This pandemic has affected us all, some to a greater extent than others. It has put us all to the test and forced every one of us to join in on the cause. The men and women that work in all branches of healthcare has been our soldiers fighting on the front lines against the invisible enemy. This foe that we have been faced with this year has been ruthless, killing men and women and children too. It feeds on ignorance and lack of self-awareness and sympathy. There are people in this world, in every country, that dares to question the very existence of this virus. They cannot see it, therefore they do not believe in it. However, that logic clearly doesn't apply to their God, to whom they put their faith in. Foolish people, they make me angry, and this year has been a year for a lot of anger for all of us. The Black Lives Matter movement have swept the world, shining a bright and very much needed light on a serious problem with our society. Not just in 1 or 2 countries, but all over the world. Suddenly, people had to fight a war on 2 fronts, against the virus and against hatred. Both invisible and both equally dangerous. We have fought in the past and we will fight again. Not even the fires in Australia and California could stop us this year. The powerful destructions caused by nature cannot match itself against our stubbornness and generosity in times of need. Now we must fight again. Now we must fight our own nature. Fight against the hatred that lays within us all. And this is a war that cannot be lost. When the clock counts down on New Year's Eve and that bell rings for the very first time, do not believe that this is all over. This is not done. The enemy is still out there, knocking on our door, demanding that we let it in. demanding that we let in the virus, let in hatred. Do not open that door, seal it shut if you have to. Enjoy these upcoming days, but when the new year comes upon us, we will once again be forced onto the battlefield to continue fighting. Fighting together as brothers and sisters once more. I will leave you now with the words of Winston Churchill. What you will hear now is a part of his speech held at the White House in Washington, D.C. in 1941. He speaks of defeating the common enemy and standing together in a difficult Christmas period. The speech is very relevant and fitting this year, 79 years later. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you soon. Merry Christmas and best wishes for the new year. Thank you.
I feel a sense of unity and fraternal association, which, added to the kindliness of your welcome, convinces me that I have a right to sit at your fireside and share your Christmas joys. Fellow workers, fellow soldiers in the cause, this is a strange Christmas Eve. Almost the whole world is locked in deadly struggle, armed with the most terrible weapons which science can devise. The nations advance upon each other. Ill would it be for us this Christmas tide if we were not sure that no greed for the lands or wealth of any other people, no vulgar ambition, no morbid lust for material gain at the expense of others had led us to the field. Ill would it be for us if that were so. Here in the midst of war, raging and roaring over all the lands and seas, creeping nearer to our hearths and homes, here amid all these tumults, we have tonight the peace of the Spirit in each cottage home and in every generous heart. Therefore, we may cast aside, for this night at least, the cares and dangers which beset us, and make for the children an evening of happiness in a world of storm. Here then, for one night only, each home throughout the English-speaking world should be a brightly lighted island of happiness and peace. Let the children have their night of fun and laughter. Let the gifts of Father Christmas delight their play. Let us, grown-ups, share to the full in their unstinted pleasures. Before we turn again to the stern tasks and formidable year that lie before us, resolve that by our sacrifice and daring, these same children shall not be robbed of their inheritance or denied their right to live in a free and decent world. And so, in God's mercy, a happy Christmas to you all.